Hello, sixth graders. So today we are continuing on with our unit rate review. And yesterday we did some problems together. So today we're just going to continue working out some problems just so we can get that practice in and make sure we understand because we have a quiz on Friday. Okay. So questions number 1 and number 2 have to do with this example here. And I'm on page 367. So I'm going to read the example so that we know how to answer questions number 1 and 2. Winona and Reth are adding money to their subway fare cards. Winona pays $26 for 8 rides. So I'm going to underline this because that's important information. There we go. Each ride costs the same amount. How much does Reth pay for 7 rides? So as you can see, they use the ratio of 26 to 8, and they divide that. And then what they do is they take that answer and then they multiply it by 3.25. So they found out that there is a rate of $3.25 per ride. Okay, so that's what the rate is. And now that they know what the rate is, they times it by 7 because they want to know how much it will cost for 7 rides. And they times that and it'll cost them $22.75 for 7 rides. Okay, we're going to use the same ratio of 26 to 8, or at least $26 for 8 rides in order to answer our next couple questions. So let's go to number 1. It says, look at the problem in the example. Rolando also adds money to his subway fare card. How much does Rolando pay for 20 rides? Okay, so we already know that the rate is 3.25 per ride. So remember I said that sometimes this little slash mark also means per. Okay, so this is what the rate is right now. And since we already know the rate, all we have to do is take this number and times it by 20 to find out how much he's going to have to pay for his 20 rides. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So 3.25 times 20. Okay, anything times 0 is 0, so I'm just going to bring that right down. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. So I think I did that right. And then 1, 2. There's 1, 2 spots. 1, 2 spots. So he's going to get 65. Oh, it's $65 for 20 rides. Excuse me, I used my wordage wrong. So $65. Our process was correct, but I was looking for amount of money, not rides. I think I said that wrong at the beginning of the video. So $65 for 20 rides. Okay, so that was pretty simple enough. Okay, so let's continue on with number 2. Look at the problem in the example. So we're still using the example above where it is $26 for 8 rides. I'm just going to write that right here. $26, just so I don't forget, for 8 rides. Okay, Vin adds $39 to his subway fare. Okay, so he's going to do it for $39. How many rides does Vin buy? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for how many rides he's going to be able to buy. Okay, so now we're looking for this part. So if we're thinking about ratios, right, this is what we have. We have a question mark for this side of the ratio, but we have these two that work. Okay, so what we can do is we can do the opposite. So before we did 26 divided by 8, but now this time we're going to do 8. And we're going to divide it by 26. Because remember, our first step is to divide, and our second step is to multiply. So because I'm looking for how many rides, I'm going to do the opposite of what the example did up here. So as you can see, look, the example did 26 divided by 8 to find out the cost. We are going to do the opposite of that, and we're going to do 8 over 26 so that we can find out how many rides can he do for $39. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide this. So I'm going to have to put a decimal in here because obviously 8 is going to be too small. 0. Okay, so now let's do how many times will 26 go into 80? 26 into 80. Let me think. Well, 25 goes into 100 5 times. So I'm going to say 3. Let's try 3. 3 times 6 is 8. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Perfect. So here's my 3. 3 times 26 is 78. And I'm going to get 2 left over. I'm going to add another 0. And 26 will not go into 20, so it'll go 0 times. I mean, we can keep doing this, right? So then I have to add another 0. And 26 will go into 200. So that would be, let's try 8 times. So 26 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4 is 20. Oh, that's too much, so it has to go 7 times. The 7 is going to make my 0 turn into a 1 because I'm going to round this. So then the answer is actually going to be 0. Let me do a different color so that we could see it better. So the answer is going to be 0.31. And now we're going to take that. So this was the first step, was to divide. So now we're going to take that answer and we're going to multiply it by what we have, and that is 39. So we're going to do 39 times 0.31, and that is going to be 9, and then 1 times 3 is 3, right? So anything times 1 is itself. Here's a 0. 3 times 9 is 27. Let's see. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11. Okay, and then I'm going to add these up. So 9, 7 plus 3 is 10, 12. And then I have 2 decimal spaces, 1, 2, 1, 2. So right now I have 12.09. But he can't do 9/10 of a ride. So how many rides can he for sure do with the $39? He can for sure do 12. So the answer to this is, how many rides can Vin buy? He can buy 12 rides with $39. Okay. I know there's a lot of steps. We've been using a calculator to do some of these things, but I wanted to show you longhand what that would look like. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to number 3. Angela starts a blog about wheelchair basketball. In the first 4 days, the blog gets 22 new subscribers. At this rate, how many new subscribers can Angela expect in 30 days? Okay, so in 4 days, she got 22 new subscribers. And it says, how many subscribers would she find in 30 days? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to divide 4 into 22, excuse me. Let me erase this. Here we go. So we're going to divide 4 into 22, which is going to go 5 times. And then we have 2 left over, but 4 won't go into 2, so I'm going to put in a decimal here and add a 0. And I'm going to bring it down. Don't forget to bring your decimal up. And then 4 goes into 25 more times. So then that means that the rate is she's getting 5.5 subscribers per day. Okay, so that's what this 5.5 means. So her rate, I'm going to put R right here. Her rate is 5.5 per day. Okay, so now that we know that, how many subscribers is she going to get in 30 days? So we're going to multiply 30 times 5.5. So 5.5 times 30. And anything times 0 is 0, so I'm just going to bring that down. 3 times 5 is 15. And then 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. And then, just 1. Yeah, 5.5. And that's 30. Yep, so just 1. So she's going to get, just want to make sure our answer is correct. Yep, 165. Yep. So she's going to get 165 subscribers in 30 days. In 30 days. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm not going to do number 4 and 5 so you can have some independent practice, but you guys have the answer key so you can check your answers to make sure you're on the right track. But I will kind of set you up for this a little bit. So Ximena is typing a 2,500 word essay. In 9 minutes, she types 396 words. So here's your first ratio. So in 9 minutes, that's supposed to be 2 colons, but not what at all it looks like. So let's try that again. In 9 minutes, she types 396 words. At this rate, can Ximena type the essay in an hour? So an hour is 60 minutes, right? So we're going to put 60 over here. And what you're trying to find out is how many words she can type in 60 minutes. So again, you're going to do your 2 steps. Number 1, you're going to divide. Sorry if that doesn't look like divide. And number 2, you're going to multiply. So what you're doing is you're dividing to find out the rate. And then you're multiplying to find out what they're looking for, okay? So that's why this is 2 steps. Okay, so that should set you up for number 4. So now let's look at number 5. Andrew saves the same amount of money each week. The table shows the amount he saves in different numbers of weeks. How much money does Andrew save in 40 weeks? Okay, so what we're trying to get to is 40 here, and we don't know how much money he saves. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take our first ratio and you're going to divide it to find out what is the rate. So how much money is he making per week? That's the rate that you're trying to find. Once you do that, then you're going to multiply that answer times 40 weeks to see how much he's going to make. Okay, so hopefully that sets you up. Again, number 1, divide. Number 2, multiply. And then check your answers with the answer key. And of course, if you need help, reach out. Although there's no office hours today because of our drive-through. Alrighty, you guys. Good luck and have some math fun.